Go and get started. I am Kley Todd. I am the band and choir director, but also the technology chair at Elkton Middle School in Elkton, Virginia. We're from Rockland County.
And I am Roadcap. I teach 6th grade U.S. history at Elkton Middle School, and I am a digital mentor at Elkton Middle as well.
So we're going to talk to you guys today a little bit about how we've prepared our faculty as a technology team for the digital conversion process that we're going through right now. Our students just received Chromebooks
November
14th, so 2-3 weeks ago. And we've been preparing for a couple years for this to happen. And we feel that the transition has gone very, very smoothly. When I walk around the building, I see devices being used in very authentic and real ways. And a lot of that we think is to do with the way in which we prepared our faculty for this. So we're going to talk today a bit about that. Okay, we're going to start with a video. If you've ever found yourself in this position, which I suspect most of you being in a technology conference probably have.
I honestly don't think I can do this. It's too hard. In order for you to formally learn, you need to be in a position. What's the issue you've been having with your computer?
I just wanted to email that cute picture of you and your sister to your uncle's hat, but the photos just disappeared. I just think that machines don't work around me.
They do. Okay, well, let's just turn on your computer.
Isn't it on already?
No, yeah.
I push the little button thing.
Let me know how to turn on your computer.
Don't talk to me in that tone, honey. I didn't grow up with these things.
Amy, what are you carrying your mother say to you? I hear her saying that she doesn't know how to turn on her computer, when I know for a fact that she does know how to turn it.
Easy. Let's just take it easy. I knew yesterday, but I don't know today.
Can you see how that doesn't make sense?
You forget.
All right. How can you accept her request in a spirit of generosity, Julie? Okay. Mom, you press the on button. There you go, it's on. All right. Now where's your photo folder?
If I knew that, I wouldn't be asking for help. I don't have all day to stare at computer screens.
I think I'm done. I don't think I can do this, actually.
Obviously, that triggered you, but it's because you allowed it. And you will not allow it.
Well, here it is. Why do you have these photos of the TV?
I wanted to show you the hangers that I just ordered from HSN. These are cedar, and they smell like wood. Just let's take a look at them.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I said that 5 years ago, and you bought me several sets of them. Now here's the picture me and Kim you wanted. Will you just drag it to your desktop?
Mm-hmm. It's like a shadow. It's okay?
Yeah, just hold it down and drag it.
Hold the left one.
Yeah, and then just anywhere in the desktop.
Desktop means the whole screen.
Anywhere in the screen.
Hold the left, roll the right. It's holding, it's holding. Desktop.
There you go. Okay, now open your browser.
You mean my AOL?
Let's just attach the photo to the computer. No, to the email.
Well, I didn't bring a cord.
Mom, there's no possible logical reason
on board. What we definitely don't want is this situation. And I think we can successfully say that we're all on board at this point. So we're going to tell you a bit about how we got it. First off, I have to give a huge amount of credit to our school division. We did not do this alone. The school division started out in Rockland County Public Schools. Gave pilot device sets to several teachers within the county. We had 3 within our building. Luke has had his for
Since the fall of 2014.
okay, so he's had his a year longer than me. He started with Chromebooks. I had iPads, and they tested out to see what device would work best in the setting. In our case, middle school setting.
I'm just gonna,
Yeah, go ahead.
there was another device as well. There was 3 different devices that we tried out. Chromebooks, iPads, and MacBook Airs. And then they also did some combinations of devices as well, whether it was a mini iPad and a Chromebook or different things like that. Just to figure out what was going to be the best solution to this problem. Instead of throwing a whole bunch of money into buying everybody iPads and then realizing, oh, I'm going to leave this with them.
So a lot of credit to our county for making that decision. That also meant that we had teachers in the building in a one-to-one environment before the entire faculty got there, and we'll talk a bit about how we use those teachers to the best of our ability. They also provide a lot of what are called tech toolkits, kind of mini conferences that ICRTs and some faculty led. We have to this here in Lawrence today, so we want to thank you for coming. They've been increasing our ICRT staff, and
are the smallest middle school in Rockingham County, but yet we actually have the best SOL test scores of the middle schools in Rockingham County, which is anything to say. We have grade level 6 through 8, approximately 500 students in Elkton Middle School. Last year, we were designated as a national school to watch. Another school in our district also was named that as non-video middle school. But we have worked really hard to get to that school to watch level. What we have here are, I know it's kind of difficult to see, but we have two graphics showing the breakdown of teachers by content area. Because we are a small school, we don't have many teachers. And because we don't have many teachers, that allows us actually to work a little bit more one-on-one with some teachers. But you'll notice that we've got a pretty good percentage are math teachers, pretty good percentage are English teachers. We have fewer social studies teachers. I'm the only 6th grade U.S. history teacher at Elkton Middle School. So I have enough students, but nevertheless, we don't have too many teachers. But yet what we do have is a lot of teachers who have 0 to 10 years of experience. And then you'll notice that on this chart we've got about, I would say that's like 16, 17 teachers within 0 to 10 years of experience. About 8 or so teachers to 20 years, but you notice it does continue to go down from there with retirement and so forth. So, but we do have some who have been working for quite a while in the traditional sense without using technology in the classroom. So we had to look at, well, what do these teachers need? Well, how can we help them? So we ended up doing a survey that asked that exact question. What do you need help with, essentially, just to gauge what they need help with.
Yeah, so actually one thing I would like to say about the chart on the right is that we did find, I don't believe we have this graphic up here, I wish we put it in, that age did not correlate whatsoever with comfort level with technology. What did correlate was years teaching experience. So we have, some career teachers, career switchers, who might fall into this category, who felt very uncomfortable. And some teachers who've been doing this forever that felt extremely comfortable, which we found to be pretty interesting. So looking at technology comfort levels in general, we actually found, this was done 2 years ago, that people felt mostly comfortable about technology in general. They were comfortable with the idea of putting technology into their classroom, which was encouraging. People were open-minded. They were excited about the digital conversion process for the most part. That being said, what we did find was that people were not necessarily as comfortable with specific services that we were moving down a pipeline. The biggest one being Google. So we are pretty much in all Google County. We just switched to Gmail, Google County. Everything's done on Google. Nobody really seemed to have any idea. And of course, if we're going to be switching our entire platform, the way that we communicate as an entire district, this is something we need to get the teachers comfortable with. As you can see, this was all over the place. And we found this to be the case with all sorts of different apps and such. So we saw initially a need, instead of so much convincing teachers that technology was a good thing to integrate in your classroom, was giving them what should I use? What tools? What different apps, different websites can we should throw in here, this isn't always just faculty. This includes your secretaries. This includes your bookkeepers. All those people who also have to use this. With differentiated attainable goals. So what we ended up coming up with was a goal system. Very similar to your academic goals that teachers would have every year. In fact, we modeled the forms directly off of them. So we did have a school-wide technology plan, which I don't think, and I didn't put it in here, I don't believe we can actually show you because I believe that's confidential, but what I can show you is what an individual teacher technology goal looks like that first year. So, myself, along with my administrator, actually designed this form. As you'll see, it looks very similar to the SMART goals, for instruction, but based it more around technology. Of course, and the reason we based it around that was it's a familiar system already. They know how to teachers know how to fill out a SMART goal. They know how that works. So if we can bridge that gap and just plug in the technology to that, it makes life a lot easier for everybody. So of course they're going to list their goal statement. The goal statements were very general. I would like to increase my use of technology in the classroom. Okay? But what we did identify to give teachers something very specific and attainable to work on were different areas in which to integrate the technology. So content delivery, and then we list a strategy, which would be I will use Google Classroom for either in a class or I would use it 3 times throughout the school year, and then they would document it with their evidence, whether that was their lesson plans or a screenshot of whatever they had done in Google Classroom. Google Classroom just being one example, of course, of that. Assessment. How are you going to integrate technology into your assessment? Whether that's using Kia or Classroom. There's myriad options. Student-produced work. How are students using the technology to actually create, to make their own material and interact with the curriculum in class? And this piece was the one that we felt was a little bit more important to put in. That's this community global connection is kind of that next step that educational technology allows us to do much better than pen and paper. So something, for example, in the community global connection is a goal statement there might be, I will do a mystery spec with the classroom somewhere else in the world. So I'm connecting our curriculum using the power of the internet and the connection potential of technology to my class. Reaching out, getting students to look outside of the walls of the classroom, outside of the walls of the school, and then a professional practice piece at the end, which could really be anything. They could attend one of those tech toolkits that the county provided. They could read a book. They could write a paper, which would be pretty involved. Could do that as well. So then what we would do, they would set target dates for these. At the beginning of the year, we would just sign off. The digital mentor would sign off. I'll talk about who that is in just a second. We check in at mid-year to see how they were doing, and then at the end of the year, they would check in. We would sign off. The digital mentor would sign off, and then they would bring that to their final evaluation for the administrator. Point being, the administrator is actually not the person who's checking off on this. And I'll talk about why that is in just a moment. So that was the first year. Last year's technology. This year, we actually switched to a different system. New teachers or teachers who still felt uncomfortable could use last year's goal and are using it currently for this year. But we also developed a new goal because we found that after last year, a lot of teachers, they suddenly had all these tools that had been introduced to them through the technology goals, and now they want to know, how do I better integrate it? How do I do that more fully, more authentically in the class? So we developed a separate goal system.
So basically the first year goals were more about finding different tools, finding apps that you can use and incorporate. But now this year, a lot of teachers have chosen to do the integration goal piece. So I found this one tool. How can I really use this in my classroom on almost a day-to-day basis, essentially?
So what we did here discovery phase. Let me discover as many things as possible, and I can use those same things I used last year, but I'd like to add to it. Then, after spending a little time with those tools, those apps, let me explore a few further, actually with the students. And then by the end of the year, what we want is a full integration. I've picked one or two things that work really well for my class that can be truly transformative. So by the end of the year, hopefully we're using them all the time. Keeping in mind that now, at this point, the students do have devices. We are one-to-one. So the hope is at the end of the year, teachers walk away from this integrate column with, I am using Schoology through and through. I understand it. I know how to use it well, make it authentic in my classroom. Same process though. It's with a mentor. And now we're going to talk a bit about that mentors. Of course, we have the reflection piece and different ones too.
And I was a digital mentor last year as well. Some of the people who I was mentoring created very lofty goals. They wanted to do this, they wanted to use Prism, they wanted to use this, they wanted to use that. Like, that's fine, that's great, I'll sign off on it, we'll talk about it. And then as the year went along, I'm like, oh, I don't think I really want to use this. So by the end of the year, some of my teachers actually did not meet their set goal. So what we talked about was, okay, yes, you did not meet your set goal, but what did you do?
What did you learn?
Yes, yes. So, again, this was not, signed by the administrator initially, because it was supposed to be growth.
Yeah. Going back to that, allowing people to make mistakes, allowing people to, as long as we see that they're truly exploring and giving them a framework within which to do that, if they don't, if everything doesn't happen, it's not necessarily the end of the world. The point is that this was supposed to be non-evaluative. So, who's going to do it? Who's going to oversee this? I already told you that our principals didn't do that. So our technology committee is comprised of teachers, digital mentors, and our technology system. We plan to implement PD, manage technology needs and requests. So if that's not if the ball goes out, that's if like, I would really like to have someone one of these clicker things. So we manage this list of prioritize that we might spend school money on. And then development technology goals. Also, these teachers they open up their classrooms all the time. They post on the school news system. I'm showing this. I'm using this app with my kids today. If you happen to be in your planning, come in. Just see what we're doing. See it in action. But the digital mentors is the most important one. Digital mentors, we have 4 of them within the school. Last year I was one. This year I'm overseeing digital mentors, but Luke was one. Luke still is one. We assigned a 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade digital mentor, as well as a specialty team, meaning phys ed and electives. And what they do is they oversee that subset of teachers' technology goal. And they work one-on-one with that person through meeting, through email, to develop a goal. And those are people who have a very wide breadth of familiarity with educational technology. So those are the best of the best in our building who know the ins and outs of all these apps and can make suggestions. And a teacher can come and say, I want to I need like a really good like quiz system to like evaluate in real time what my kids have learned. And that person will be able to say, oh, Kahoot, use Kahoot, let's try Kahoot. Similar to what an ITRT does. Of course, these people are teaching, so they're not going into classrooms, which at that point we would say, you should probably get an ITRT to come in and help you with that. But they helped to develop and target specific apps and items to use within the goal system for these teachers. Then the digital mentor, so this is just a faculty member, is the person signing off on that goal system. So of course it's important that our digital mentors are on the same page and are understanding what is a quality goal. So we would constantly meet to make sure that they're not signing off on something that's not well done. And of course they see the implementation goals. Again, the point being, it's non-evaluative. If I have a peer helping me work my way through, it's very different than an administrator overseeing the process. digital mentors have a lot of work. You have to have teachers that are just willing to do that. You know, I get paid a little extra for being a technology leader. Our digital mentors don't. Hopefully, if you're an administrator in the room and have any say with HR, maybe you can make that happen. So, choosing the digital mentors. How do we pick these people? I'm going to actually work through something with you guys to get you to sort of identify for yourself what kind of leader you might be in this regard. Leadership style means a lot. So when I put these people together, when I chose these people, I looked for people both on the technology committee and to choose as digital mentors who have different leadership styles. So that if we need to say, okay, maybe this person may not be the best choice to be this person's digital mentor. We can make sure we're matching people up with we're like-minded and we can really help. So if you've ever seen the leadership compass, I really like this. I really like these like psychological metric things like MBTI and all. I know they're not everything, but they are a good way to sort of identify yourself and how you operate. So we're going to go through, there's 4. First is the North leader. The North leader is assertive, they're decisive, and they're the kind of people who look for the bottom line. They're the person that after everyone's been talking and going back and forth in the meeting says, wait a minute, but what's the point? Okay, they want the point. Taken to excess, these leaders can be defensive, they can be controlling, they can be perceived as cold. They may overlook more strategic planning because they just want to get to the bottom line. I could name, I'm not going to, but I could name for you the people in our technology committee who are North leaders. Okay? Working with them, it's important that you provide them with autonomy. It's important that you stick to your timeline because they want it done. And that you present your ideas clearly. If you're a South leader, you're somebody who wants to support others. This is me. You are all about the relationship through the leadership process. You tend to assume the blame when things go wrong. This is taken to excess, of course. Can overcompromise to avoid conflict. You have trouble saying no. Can lose focus on the goal when sensing conflict. Working with them, it's important to maintain a positive relationship with them. To remember that they have a hard time saying no, so don't ask them to do too much. And to remind them that they are appreciated. Of course, as we're thinking about this, we want to think about as digital mentors the faculty that we're working with. And what type of leader they are. Peace leaders, these are the vision leaders. They are ideal-oriented. They always see the big picture thinkers. They tend to forget the small details though. They always see a big picture. I'm definitely like a South. They might lose focus on tasks, lack follow-through, despite their great ideas. Deadlines or suggestions to these people. They might put things off to the last minute. They're also prone to long-term burnout because they get bogged down by the details. Working with them, it's important to support the fact that they might have crazy ideas. They might be divergent thinkers. Give them a variety of non-repetitive tasks to do. Part of the reason that I am no longer a digital mentor and I'm overseeing the process is because I don't do well with repetitive tasks. That's me. And so I know that as a leader, that's a weakness I have, and so I'm going to put myself in a position where I can play to my strengths and find the leaders that can overcome those on a team. I want to provide positive help and follow through with these tasks. And then we have the West leaders. These are the people that I appreciate in my life because I am so not this at all. They get bogged. They get stubborn. They may appear cold or withdrawn. They can be indecisive without a vision. But they are very practical, and they I'll pull them back up. And go to this site, and there's just a little survey there. Identify for yourself, and then on that survey, it's going to ask you, how do you think you can work best? What would the benefits to you be of working with each of these types of leaders? How can they make up for your weaknesses? Or if it's the same leadership type, how much butt heads? And get over that, work together. Stop or back to leaders. Let's everybody's maybe have a few minutes. Are we all there?
gave them the ability to.
Yeah, I think, yeah, you should. But feel free to use those, yes, sir.
One implementation, how do the staff do the schools
Very good question. So what we're doing right now, again, this only happened 3 weeks ago, so there could be some changes here. The county, thankfully, I'm so glad we said this because we totally agree. If a kid does not bring their device, they don't get one. Now, that may seem difficult, and it is a little difficult on the teachers at first, because, of course, you have to always have kind of a second backup plan for those students. But the hope is that the kid, if they don't bring it in, they have something else to do that's a lot less fun, and it doesn't happen again. Being a band teacher, actually, that's what I do with instruments. You know, I have another activity that if a kid forgets their instrument that day, they regret it big time because they're not playing and they're doing a worksheet. So that's how we've been handling it. We do the same thing for uncharged devices.
And how do you deal with damage, smoke damage?
So the way that the county has set that up, they did purchase device insurance for every device. However, if a student breaks it intentionally, it's vandalism, the student is responsible for that. If it is an accident, then it is replaced with that insurance.
And if somebody thinks it's stolen, a police report has to be filed. So you can't just say that device is stolen.
Accidentally damaged. What is done,
They get a warning. We have one. But we do not give out those warnings to students.
Who determines accidental or purposeful damage?
Not me, thankfully. Is that, Laura, you might know the answer to that
There
question.
is no police, so if a student thinks it's accidental, it's accidental, no one takes it.
I would think.
Unless it's the same child.
Right,
or
Yeah,
contact,
it's a
or you can
repetitive,
tell,
yeah.
it's obvious.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, there was a witness, but no one takes it.
Or is the school building administration?
I mean, I know of a case one of my students got really angry and ripped his charger out of the wall and it broke. He was honest. I mean, but of course not all kids are going to be, but I think, you know, we're going to tell them.
So do you then, was there that day when you're charging, do you try and use this phone call as well on that, or?
What we would typically do, they would, I guess they just report so that we have help desk first, and it would be who our computer assistant runs, allow us to, IT our team, IT person there as well. I would imagine they would make that determination, and she, being a staff member in the building, would probably make a determination as to whether or not it would be social issues to that. If it's accidental, we're not gonna,
Right,
we're
so
not gonna
she's not
issue it.
there though when the event occurs, it's kind of like, that kind of.
I tell you
If-
what, if it occurred in my classroom,
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
gonna
Yeah,
report to
teach.
my administrator,
Of course.
and I'm